I still can't believe what a big thing it is to people.
To the majority of the scientific community, this animal is impossible.
I don't think you'd find anyone who's not actually heard of Dolly.
Well, it's now 20 years since Dolly was born. Certainly a proportion of the work was done at the farm here in Roslin.
And it's lovely to be back, actually. Walking through the doors of this building, it all just came flooding back. The aim wasn't, as far as I'm aware, ever to make Dolly the sheep, an animal cloned from an adult mammalian cell. It was in order to have full flocks of cloned sheep producing identical proteins in their milk that could be used, hopefully, in the future for human therapeutic use.
You know, we were taking steps in that direction. The adult cell is the ultimate step in that we could take. It was really hard work. So hand-eye coordination for us was paramount.
You had to make sure you were never hungover, because you could not do that. Well, I couldn't. Your hands would shake too much. If you're not, I would come to work hungover, obviously.
Most of the oocytes were collected surgically. They were then loaded into a tube, probably an Eppendorf, and brought up to do the work at the main institute, which is no longer there.
I used to actually tuck them in my bra strap, which was nice and warm, so it would keep them kind of a nice constant temperature to take them back up the road. But so Dolly probably at one point was here. There was always this mild niggle of a doubt in the back of our minds. Had we done it properly?
I really wonder how we actually did it.
We should just be thankful we had our lucky socks on that day, I suppose.
This is the actual building where Dolly was actually born. You're never 100% sure you've got the correct cell, you've got the correct animal. So the fact that when the lamb came out, it looked totally different from its surrogate mother, then we certainly were pretty sure ourselves. When the news broke, by Monday morning, all hell had broken loose in the car park.
I think one of the things that helped make it appealing to such a wide range, whether it was age, nationality, anything, was definitely Dolly herself. She knew how to play to the camera, even from a young age. I think she was just born to be photogenic. And I know that we fielded a lot of calls from people with some very sad stories, and it did seem to capture the imagination and the hope of people that this might lead to cures for all sorts of things, or that people might be able to clone children that they'd lost. And a lot of that was heartbreaking, it really was.
I have been told by a number of people that the biggest problem that they had was that all the notes had to be rewritten because what they'd been teaching people for the whole of their life was now untrue. The legacy in science is that it got people thinking about stem cells. When Dolly was born, it disproved the fact that once a cell was differentiated, it could be undifferentiated. And even things like iPS cells and induced pluripotent stem cells would have been impossible.
It's that hope that might come of it, and whether it's cures for diseases or more understanding, better understanding of how everything works, because we thought one way and then we just flipped it on its head, and people have to think about it another way now.